after you recorded your podcast and you've downloaded your MP3 file, you need to put it somewhere, and a hosting provider will help you do that. It'll also be where you write down like the show titles and the show notes and all the things that end up in the podcast player live in a podcast host. So if you Google podcast hosting providers, some of the top ones that'll start coming, if you look at ranks and whatnot, are going to be Libsyn, Buzzsprout, Podbean, Castos. All of these are fine for you to use. The one that's been around almost the longest is Libsyn. It's one that I use. It's a trusted partner. It's very reliable, and they have reasonable price plans. The other one that I like is called Captivate. So I'll show you those really quick. So Captivate I'll go to first. That's a newer one, but being newer, they've also created a lot of, you might have to type in podcast because Captivate's a pretty broad word. So Captivate podcast, so captivate.fm allows you to get out there and get your podcast up and running. And they have different plans. The first one's at $17 a month, and you get up to 12,000 downloads per month and an unlimited amount of episodes and storage. This one's pretty easy to use, and a lot of people like that one. I happen to use Libsyn, but I'm a supporter of Captivate. So Libsyn, same thing, allows you to do all the things, get all the stats for your podcast, and their pricing starts as low as $5 a month for the 50 megabytes of storage in terms of files. I think I'm up to the $15 or $20 plan, but again, that's not a lot of money each month to get your show up and running. So let me log in here really quick so you can see what it's like to have your podcast uploaded into the Libsyn host. So you'll see they have, you'll see your stats and things. But if you're adding a new episode to your podcast, your host is where you're going to be entering things like the title of the episodes, the descriptions of the episodes, artwork for the episodes, artwork for your podcast, what category it is in, any tags you want to add, and then who the author is. That's you as the host, your season numbers, your episode numbers, if it's explicit or clean in terms of language, and when you want to publish it, and when those files expire, if at all. Usually that's none. All of that's available, and once you put it there, you can then distribute that out to all the different podcast destinations across the web. And each of those you have to submit to individually, and we'll talk about that in a different lesson. But Libsyn's one of them that I use. It's been effective and super helpful. So sign up with the Libsyn account and follow their useful tutorials to get yourself started.